31-year-old Lieutenant George Patton managed to get himself involved in the U.S. Army's last Old West-style shootout. It also happened to be the Army's first mechanized engagement. The United States had backed a coup that ousted Pancho Villa as the legitimate leader of Mexico, and in response, Villa had begun a career of cross-border bandit raiding. After one particular raid in March of 1916, President Wilson dispatched General Pershing with several thousand troops to either kill Villa or bring him back alive. General Pershing was dating George Patton's sister at the time, and Patton was able to muscle his way onto the expedition. The U.S. Army had switched over to semi-automatic sidearms several years prior, but Patton insisted on carrying an ivory-handled .45 caliber Colt Peacemaker. Once in Mexico, Patton was given a detachment of 7 men to go to a local town to buy corn, when one of his interpreters recognized 2 men in the town as associates of Pancho Villa and told Patton that must mean that Villa himself was nearby. Intelligence indicated that Villa was much farther south at the time, but Patton insisted on investigating anyway. As his detachment approached the house in 3 armored Dodge touring cars, Patton noticed someone running and ordered his men to take up defensive positions surrounding the structure. 3 men on horses attempted to escape, but when they saw their way blocked by the men, they charged straight at Patton instead because he was on foot. With his pistol, Patton shot the first man through the arm, causing him to fall from his horse, then killed the second rider's horse from under him, and then killed the rider when he stood back up. The third rider was about 100 yards past him at this point, so his soldiers opened up on him with their rifles and killed him. By now, the first rider was trying to crawl away, so they shot him in the back. One of the men approached him, claimed that the man pretended to surrender, and then reached for his pistol, so they shot him dead as well. One of their scouts informed them that there were 40 very angry, very armed horsemen approaching, so the detachment took their bodies and beat a quick retreat. The bodies were later identified as the head of Pancho Villa's personal bodyguard and 2 other bodyguards. These events were widely reported in the American press, giving Patton his first dose of fame. His Colt 45 had 2 notches carved in the grip for the rest of his life.